Hi, Jack here with the layout for A Local Magpie using Elles Studio Document December 2024 collection. I'm using this photograph that I accidentally printed out with the wrong size, so it's turned out to be 7x7 square, and I'm using a selection of pattern papers from the Fa La La paper stack. I've already gone through and decided which papers I want and got a basic idea of how I'm going to design this page. I also use this tag sheet, and I've just cut out all the tags, and I do end up using just one of them, as you'll see later in the process. Off camera, I'd also die cut one of the large perforated metal dies, as you can see, and I've already added some ribbon to the top. So basically my layout's going to be like this. Just stacking everything together, laying things up. I also add a doily on my table, so I thought I'm going to use that. So that does make an appearance bottom right of my photograph. And using the Merry stamp set, I've stamped several of the Christmases in various colours. As you can see, I've just fussy cut around the edge. So I've got black on the screen at the minute, but I do end up using a red one instead. So I'm just messing around trying to figure out which tag I want to use at the bottom of my layout. There was also a red tag journaling spot that I thought I might cut round and use that instead, but I do end up using the paper one, the green one. So I'm just going to adhere all the layers together, and everything goes flat. I think I do add some 3D form to the actual word Christmas, the stamped image of Christmas, but I think everything else I've left basically flat on the page. So again, trying to remember how I had designed it before I'd pulled it all apart to put it all together. So I'm just going to tuck that there. I do end up moving that slightly over so there's no gap between the word that it says on this day in December and the stripy paper. And then I found the pink pink candy stripe, I don't know, and I border punched that at the end. Just trim it down a bit. It's just to have a bit of decorative border to the bottom of the layers, sorry. And I just tuck that in underneath the bottom of that green piece. And then one of the journaling cards had this word that says Merry Moments. Obviously, I didn't need the Polaroid bit, so I've just trimmed that off. And here it is when I found the doily on my table. And I do end up pulling the photograph up and getting the doily into position. Just to have another texture to the page. Not really a big feature because most of it gets covered up, as you'll see in a minute. Then I add the Merry Moments to the left-hand side. And then I'm deciding what I'm going to do with the tag at the bottom. So I've had some out of my stash. I've got some ribbon, and it says the ribbon just says Merry Christmas. So I just tie that in a knot, trim the ends down, and they also end up stapling it into place because it kept on coming loose. So I just end up stapling it to trim it down a bit because I didn't want it as wide as it was, and I just stick that underneath slightly, underneath the lower photograph. And that's where I'll end up putting my journaling. So yeah, I'm just adding a little staple just to hold the ribbon in place. So that's all stuck down. And now I am going to decide that I'm going to use the circle die cuts. So there's a pack of circle die cuts that have various words on. They're all circle, different, all the colours go together with the with this paper range collection, and I'm going to use one of those as part of my title. So here's where I've changed up the Christmas and use the red one. I've also used some of the word strip die cuts as well. So the top two says A Merry Little Christmas and On This Day in December, and the bottom one say Jingle All the Way and My Heart is Full of Joy. So I've just had some wet glue to those and just added them, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. And they just add an extra feature to the page. So I'm just adding those there. And then I do add some 3D foam to the word Christmas, which I do put between this green one I'm putting down now and the bottom of the photograph. Don't forget to go and check out this range and all the other Christmas ranges in the shop. There is quite an extensive range of Christmas products. Please check them out. I'll leave a link to the shop in the description box below. So here I'm just putting that word Christmas, and then I'm going through those circle dies I just mentioned previously, and I found one that says joy, and it punch out the middle. So I'm just using a bit of card so you can see, make it clearer see. And I just wanted it to show out a bit. So I've got some gold paper from my stash, and I've just added a small trimming to the back, just so it just emphasises the word joy. And then I stick that together and I end up tucking it underneath the photograph. You'll see it in a minute, to the right hand of the journaling spot. Oh, I do put the little bit in the middle so you can see where the joy is. So I end up I was going to overlap it, but I end up tucking it underneath. And this is where I said that the doily does get covered up with that big element there. I've also stamped some images using some older Elles Studio stamps. Again, just adding 3D foam, and I'm just going to put that to the top. And that just says, love this tradition, so fun. And then I decided I want to add a bit of trim to the side. And I did use that green one. And then I also add some of this green star trim. So I end up taking the other one off, the check one off, and then using the green one, the green star, because I think it was a bit wider and also better to the pattern papers. So off camera I've added some puffy arts from the Puffy Arts sheet, added my journaling. Here are a few close-ups. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you've got any questions, please leave them below, and I'll be back later in the month sharing another layout using Elles Studio Document December 2024. Thanks for stopping by.